Hey everyone, my name is Kunal Johar, CTO of OpenWater, and today I'm really excited to share with you what our integration is with iMIS, and I'm hoping I can walk you through all of it in just under 5 minutes. So to get started, let's take a look at what it's like to do single sign-on between OpenWater and iMIS. Here, I have a demo system of OpenWater, and let's take a look as if I'm an applicant and I want to submit. First, I'm asked to log in with my iMIS credentials. So let me go ahead and do that. And it's now taking my iMIS information and it's transferring it over to OpenWater so I can begin my submission. Pretty nifty. We see I'm logged in as Brian Murphy, and if I go over to my profile, I see all of these fields are set. Let's take a look at the configuration for that. This is the OpenWater Integrations Hub, and you see here I've already configured the single sign-on, so let's take a look. We see here that it's hooked up to this instance of iMIS. And then I also have a field mapper, and this field mapper can help me map the profile either from the party record, or I can also configure an IQA and pull fields from the IQA. It's very easy. If I wanted to add more fields to map to an OpenWater, I can click Add Field. I can pick and choose the field, and then I can pick and choose how I want to map that to information from iMIS. Next up, let's talk about lookups. Lookups help us fill out forms with information that's in iMIS. First, you'll configure an IQA, and that IQA will be available in OpenWater. So for this example, we're going to pretend that we're submitting an abstract for a conference, and we want to look up some authors. Let's toggle back to our demo system. I'm back at that same demo system. I'm already logged in. I haven't stopped the login process. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Try out the system as an applicant, and it's going to go ahead and create a new application for that same Brian Murphy that's logged in. So here I am. Let's put in sample for video. And of course, I could fill out the form as if it's a real example. And right here, I have this lookup with iMIS. This is a test form that will simulate author lookup. So here I have my iMIS IQA, and you can see here it's pre-filled information from iMIS. So it's very easy if I want to search information from iMIS to fill it out. Let's take a look at the configuration of that. So here you see I'm in Rise, and I've defined this query, get users by name. And just to show you a little bit of test information, I can search for that same Tim, and here are the results. If you're familiar with the IQA, just a regular old IQA where I define the fields I'm interested in. In the OpenWater Integrations Hub, I can build a lookup. Here you see the lookup, and you can see it automatically pulls in the fields from iMIS and makes it very easy for me to assemble what the lookup should look like, along with how that information should be mapped into OpenWater. So on the left side, I see the OpenWater fields, and on the right side, I have an easy to configure, auto-completed formatting to map the fields. So you can see a lookup was relatively easy. Let's now go ahead and proceed with a pushback. All right, we're back in that same demo system. Let's just continue along. Just filling out all of the fields that need to be required. And you see here, we call this sample for video. And I'm going to go ahead and save and finalize. Great. We've now submitted an application. Let's take a look at the pushback. Here in OpenWater is our pushback configuration. You can see here I want to pull from restaurants of the year, and I want to only pull complete applications, and I want it to run every 5 minutes. Here I have my field mapper, and you can see similarly it's mapped to an iMIS panel, and I can change and configure how that mapping is once again with drag and drop. Let me go ahead and run, and I can look at the logs, and I can see that the sample for video has just been pushed back. Let's go back to iMIS, and in iMIS, you'll see we've this where we can find the sample for video right here. So you can see here that we are able to submit, do a lookup, and get the pushback from iMIS. So our last 15 seconds, let's dive just a little bit further into the configuration of all of this. So now I've toggled over to a fresh copy of OpenWater. I'm going to head over to the Integrations Hub, and here I can go to my pushback, Let me create a new iMIS pushback. And this, of course, has different programs attached to it, but just for demo purposes, I want to share with you how easy and how fast it is for us to build a pushback. I go to the field mapper, and the first thing I do is I create a panel. Let's call this new for video. And now we're actually building a panel inside iMIS Rise. Okay, so it's built this panel called new for video. Let's take a look at that panel. All right, I'm now in a different instance of iMIS, the one that I just built this panel in. And you can take a look here of all of the panels that the OpenWater Integrations Hub has created. So this is the new for video panel that's been created. And let's say I want to map additional fields to iMIS. Well, no problem. I could load the panel up in the panel designer. I could find the data source. I could add additional fields. So let me add this example field. And then I can drag and drop that field into the iMIS panel designer. So here I've done that. Let's go back to the integrations hub. Let me reload this, go to the field mapper, and you can see here I can add a field. And now that field I created in iMIS can be easily mapped. So here we have example field 1 mapped to this field here, example. So there you have it. It is literally that easy to integrate iMIS with OpenWater, and I hope this last tidbit here shows you, or shows your IT professional, how easy it is to build custom objects, map those objects from OpenWater to iMIS, and have a perfect data pushback. So as promised, absolutely no magic. You can follow along a longer companion training manual that walks you through all of the steps I've taken today, much slower, where you can configure this yourself and push both OpenWater and iMIS to the limit. To learn more, check out learn.openwater.com. Thank you.